What's up, everyone? It's Tuesday, July 9th. It's live at 5 here at Broadway.com. I almost said my name. Here at Paul Wontorek.
It feels that way sometimes, but not today.
Here at Paul Wontorek, I'm Broadway.com.
Okay. I'm Beth Stevens still.
And we're joined by Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm
Got a
good.
haircut.
I'm good. I like your earrings. What'd you say?
Thanks. I like your haircut.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning it. It was overgrown. Hey, Beth, who is our guest from our favorite Broadway show today?
We have Isabelle McCalla is here from the Prom.
Izzy. Isabelle.
Alyssa Greene in the house.
Yes. She sings a song all about
She does.
being that character. We're going to talk all about it with her, but first, today's Top 5.
This Broadway two-hander is closing its doors a few weeks early.
Oh, we're starting with some sad news. That's always a bummer. So Frankie and Johnny in the
But it seems to be a theme these last few weeks.
It's summer, and
Closing.
you know what?
Summer closings.
We're having another
over
summer
it. Hashtag
closing.
over it.
Hashtag over it. Frankie and Johnny in the Claire de Lune, Terrence McNally's play, the revival of this play with Audra McDonald and Michael Shannon, is closing early. It was a limited engagement to begin with. It was supposed to close on August 25th, and now it will close on July 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a bummer. We'll have played 26 previews and 70 regular performances at the time of closing. We have a great affection for this play, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Terrence McNally, of course, won a Lifetime Achievement Tony Award this year and gave one of the best speeches. Go YouTube that. Do that.
And another doctor is heading to the diner.
Yes, so another day, another Waitress casting news. I mean, I feel like this is at least once a week we find out. Right?
You know what? That's okay.
No, it's
That's
great
okay.
because it's a big hit. So yesterday, Eric Bergen was here.
Right here.
Yeah, he was right here. And he, as he mentioned, I'm sure you watched, he's leaving on July 21st. And now we found out Mark Evans, the charming Mark Evans, who has also sat in this chair
He is dashing.
in the past, the dashing Brit. I'm assuming he won't be doing it with a British accent because he doesn't need to. He's very talented. He will be starring as Dr. Palmater.
Broadway's favorite OBGYN.
But did you notice that Eric Bergen accused me of not knowing the character's name yesterday?
It's hard to say it correctly. It doesn't.
No, I have more of
flow.
a problem with Ogie,
Ogie.
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 Hoagie, like hoagie. Anyway, Mark Evans will start July 23rd. And he was last seen on Broadway in The Play That Goes Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he has done a lot of things. I Married an Angel. These are his New York regional and touring credits, so it's vague. I Married an Angel. You don't know where this happened. Me and My Girl, Finian's Rainbow, The Book of Mormon, national tour. Mary Poppins, The Fix, Aida, Singing in the Rain. And he's a West End. He started as a West End star. Remember, he was
did.
in Ghost, the musical.
Well, there
Do
you
you
go.
remember that?
I didn't
Look it up.
see
There's some
in the
YouTube
West End.
videos. Ghost, Wicked, Oklahoma, Rocky Horror, Pamela. Anyway, he will be joining the cast with Allison Luff, who was fantastic in Escape to Margaritaville. So some new stars starting July 23rd. Shoshana Bean, Eric Bergen out. Allison Luff, Mark Evans in.
There it is.
What a way to say that.
There it is. And someone is joining the Murphy family over at Dear Evan Hansen.
Some fresh casting over at Dear Evan Hansen. Gabrielle Karuba is taking over the role of Zoe Murphy from Mallory Bechtel, who will play her last performance on July 28th. I feel like I'm saying July 28th a lot today. And Gabrielle Karuba begins on July 30th. She was an understudy, and now she's going to officially make her Broadway debut.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Can we talk about Michael Park for a minute? Just because we like to.
Okay, sure. I'm sorry, Gabrielle. We're going to talk about Michael Park now.
Well, you'll be hanging out with Michael.
Yes, you will.
He's in Stranger Things.
Yes, he is.
I can't watch
has a
things that
big-
are creepy, so I don't know
No,
anything
he
about
has a
it.
big part in. You can handle it, Beth. It's like
think I
80s.
can.
No, this season's scary.
Thank you.
He has a very. He does a lot of disturbing things.
It's
and
great.
It's a lot.
I don't want to see
No
Michael
But,
spoilers.
Park.
and he's
do all
do
also
everything.
he's very bingeable. He's very Netflix.
Yeah,
'cause
he's
he's
in, like,
also in
3.
Tales of the City.
And you.
He's all over the place, and
you
he's
can-
on Broadway.
You can see him in person at the Music Box Theater.
Yes. And we have some Loverly tour news.
Yeah, so My Fair Lady just closed. We talked
Yep,
about that
on
this
Sunday.
past Sunday. But the national tour is happening. It will launch at Syracuse's Landmark Theater on December 10th, and then it'll open officially at the Kennedy Center. And we found out who will be starring in it.
Tell me.
I like this casting because they gave Shireen Ahmed the role of Eliza Doolittle, and I like this because she was in the ensemble of the show on Broadway and covered the role.
Oh, cool.
So I love
she
that
knows what
she
she's
gets
doing.
to step up and
good.
take on the tour. She must be fantastic. She must have gone on, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm assuming they've seen her do it, right? If they
I
gave her the role.
assume, yes, that's correct.
And also another, I like this too. Laird McIntosh, who is a longtime Phantom of the Opera
Yes, he was.
cast member, will be playing Henry Higgins on the tour. So that's also fantastic. And he was previously in the national tour of Mary Poppins and 1776 at Encores. And there's going to be more casting to come, but they will be anchoring the national tour.
And a bunch of Broadway stars are going to do a concert to help support performing arts in New Jersey.
Right. So there is a benefit. Let me just give you some names. Are you ready?
Yes.
J. Armstrong Johnson. Would you go to New Jersey for these names? Are you ready?
Are we listing people who have
Bonnie
been in this room?
Milligan.
Yes, we are.
Tanya Pinkins. Has she been here? Because Tanya, I know you're watching.
Book Tanya Pinkins.
Can you book Tanya Pinkins?
We miss her.
We love her.
I haven't
Hey.
seen Tanya Pinkins in a while.
You got to go to
Wonderful.
Dumont, New Jersey. This is something called Benefit of Broadway. And
What?
it happens on July 15th. Benefit of Broadway.
What does that
B.O.B.
mean?
That's the name of this benefit. It's the name of the concert. Will be held at the Debonair Music Hall in Dumont, New Jersey. Because it's summer, so we're covering things in the tri-state area. On July 15th, J. Armstrong Johnson, Bonnie Milligan, book Tanya Pinkins, Sierra Renee, Adina Alexander, and Kieran Sheeran. Is that how you say that name? That rhymes. Okay. Hosted by Richard Skipper, direction by Marissa Lynn. It's in New Jersey, but they're Broadway stars. Benefit of Broadway B.O.B.
Do you know what Richard Skipper's famous for?
Tell me.
Impersonating Carol Channing.
Okay, there you go. Thank
True.
you. It's true.
But I'm assuming he's doing it as Rich. Maybe Carol Channing will show up.
You never know.
You never know.
There's a little bit more to talk
Oh,
about.
what else? Yeah.
What did you do today?
I woke up early
Okay.
Got
I
my
didn't
hair
actually
cut.
mean what did you
Got
do
your
today?
haircut.
and I went to the Moulin Rouge.
I love when you speak French. Go on.
I went, literally all I know.
Moulin
I went
Rouge.
to the Martin Beck Theater, also known as the Al Hirschfeld Theater, but I call it the Martin Beck. 'Cause that's
Old
where
school.
Grand Hotel
Kicking
played,
it
my
old
favorite
school.
show.
Oh, great.
Anyway, and I finally got to see the amazing Derek McLean set inside the Al Hirschfeld Theater. It is stunning.
Did you talk to the people?
And I interviewed all the people,
All the people.
all those people we like.
Aaron Tveit, Karen Olivo,
You know who's in it.
et cetera, et cetera. So we
Enough
have
about them.
We
We're
have
going to
some,
be talking about them a lot. But no, yeah. So there's some great photos. They stood in the middle of all the beauty on stage and said, "Look how beautiful this all is," and here we are.
you go.
And then I interviewed them, and the video will be up later. But there's photos up.
and it's very rouge. The set.
That's red. Is
They're
that red?
good. So
Roja.
good. You're so good.
Spanish.
That's a different version.
Some people
That's
take
good.
Spanish and people take French.
I took
Is
French.
that still the thing? Like when kids, do they take Spanish
No,
or
now they
French,
take
or
like
is that an 80s
Chinese.
thing?
They take Chinese and Latin and stuff now. Anyway,
They're smarter.
we have that. We also have the new episode of Life in the Lamp.
It's not. So is it, it's not
No.
live in the lamp.
You got to live and large in the
life,
lamp
live.
with Michael James Scott of
It's
Aladdin.
a Genie reference.
It's a Genie reference. It's really fun, and he shows you. You know, it was Independence Day week, so day week sounded weird, but anyway. So they had a lot of two-show days, and he shows you sort of what went on backstage.
A lot
at
of
Aladdin.
performing happens on two
A
shows.
lot of glitter came on and came off. And we have a Q&A with Leah Williams, who's a Tony nominee for
Skylight.
very
Was
good.
she nominated for that?
Yes.
Oh.
Very good. Who's
Okay.
starring in London's The Night of the Iguana
You
with
thought I wasn't going to know that.
I did.
Beth thought she was stumping me.
It's totally true.
You were so excited.
I was
to
like, I
stump
got
me.
him. I knew it was the Martin Beck before it was the Al Hirschfeld. Anyway, she's starring in London in Tennessee Williams's The Night of the Iguana with Clive Owen and Anna Gunn, who was in Breaking Bad. And she talks
Oh, I want
about
to see that. Is it
that.
limited?
it. I think so. Hasn't started yet. She's
Are we
still
in the
in
wrong
rehearsal.
city? The wrong
still
country?
in rehearsal. We can go over to London and see a Tennessee Williams play. I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah. You know
about
why? Because there's a star of our favorite Broadway musical here.
Correct.
So
True.
we have to get to her. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
We're going to see a show tonight.
We are.
More on that later. Caitlin, tell everyone about who's here today.
Gladly, yes. We have Isabelle McCalla here with us today. She is currently starring in The Prom on the Broadway. As we've maybe mentioned a few times, we really like The Prom here. She made her Broadway debut as Princess Jasmine in Aladdin. She also did that role on tour. Please be sure to follow her on social media at Izzy McCalla and leave all of your questions in the comments below. Please welcome Isabelle and Paul.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Yay!
You know, I remember when this show first came along and I kept hearing about Izzy. I was like, I don't know who Izzy is. And I was like, oh, I finally figured it out. It's that super talented girl that I didn't know playing Alyssa Greene.
Stop
But, no, I didn't. I mean,
yeah.
you're so. Let me just get this out of the way. Is the Broadway.com love of the prom bordering on creepy?
No, it's
Okay.
the best thing ever.
Okay.
It honestly fuels
Okay.
us in the show.
Oh,
It's
I'm
great.
glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because the show fuels us.
True.
We love it.
I'm so glad.
We love it so much.
Yeah.
And how are you? You look very pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
some-
very excited today. I guess just drinking a beer. It's summer. It's my season.
So
I'm
let's just drop the bomb first. The prom is winding down. I believe there are 5 weeks
We
left.
have 5 weeks left.
Okay.
40 shows left.
Okay.
Not that I'm counting.
Right.
But
Yeah. So it's hard. It's always hard
Yeah.
when a show. I mean, it's had a nice run. It's been
Yeah.
a nice run. You know, it's a new musical with a name people didn't know, right? And a plot that maybe not everyone's ready for a musical about lesbians wanting to go to the
Right.
prom. I mean, there's certain things about the show that maybe were challenging.
yep. And it's completely original. Just
Completely
based off
so you
of,
literally
know.
and which, by the way,
Oh, sorry.
if you've never experienced that, go see a completely original musical, because that means, here's what it means: you sit down and you don't know anything that's going to happen. Literally. Some people have never experienced that on Broadway,
Yeah.
because a lot of Broadway shows, you know everything that's going to
Yeah.
happen. You know nothing, and there are nice twists and turns, and the end of Act 1 might blow your mind, and there's all sorts of fun things that happen, and that's a really exciting experience, and I want everyone to experience that. So you should
Yeah.
really go see the prom if you haven't.
please do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but how is the prom family? Is everyone okay? I feel we all want to give everyone a hug.
Yeah, we're okay. We give each other a lot of hugs.
Yeah, I could tell.
Luckily, it's a company that chooses joy a lot of the time, and I think there was about a week when it was really tough.
Yeah.
We got our closing notice, and then our original principal Hawkins left to shoot a movie with Viola Davis and Chadwick
Yeah.
Boseman, so he's fine.
Yeah.
I'm bitter, but he's fine. No, but yeah, we're sad, but we love doing this show so much that it kind of fuels us even more to keep giving the best product that we know we have. And that's what's sad is that even though the show will have a life with the movie and the national tour that'll happen, the fact that it won't be on Broadway with these people is sad. And yeah, we're just gonna try to give it all we can while
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. You always have. That's an amazing company of people.
I mean, it's a masterclass every day, and I'm always laughing.
Yeah.
Always laughing.
Yeah. Well, I love your social media. I love you're a lot of fun. On
I try to
Instagram
be,
and-
because I'm not so much fun on stage. I'm very dramatic.
Oh, I don't know. I like that.
Oh,
That
thank you.
Alyssa. I like her.
Thank you.
I
I'm
like
glad.
her story. I like her song. You're so good in the show.
Thank you.
Like
Appreciate it.
it's a nice juicy part.
Yeah, I like it's got a fun arc to her, and I feel a huge responsibility and privilege to get to play her. And the best compliment I can get is when young girls at the stage door say, "I'm seeing myself for the first time. Thank you so much." And we inspire these young kids to come out to their families, or are still terrified of it but want to keep working through it, and are figuring out what their identities are. And just being able to connect on a deeper level and change these people's lives is literally everything that we ever could have wanted to do. So yeah.
Talk about your relationship off stage with Caitlin Kinnunen.
Caitlin Kinnunen.
Yeah, she's pretty fantastic.
She's amazing. She's my babe. We
Yeah.
call each other babe backstage all the time. She's kind of my rock. We, started. I started in the lab back last January,
Right.
and it was kind of an automatic click between the two of us. We really get each other. We're always there for each other. We're very different people, but I think because of that, we're able to balance each other out quite a lot. So she's there when I need to pick me up, and I'm there when she needs to like squeeze my hand if she's nervous or something. And yeah, and then we just fool around like crazy. I mean, it's absurd the shenanigans we get up to. Yeah, I think it creeps Courtenay Collins out sometimes because she's in our dressing room with us, and we're just Looney Tunes.
You two have kissed all over daytime
Yeah, baby.
television, which is one of the things I really admire about the producers of the show, and I admire how they have been very out there about what the show is from day one, which doesn't always happen when you have a multi-million-dollar show to try to promote. Sometimes you might just put a bunch of dancing high school kids and not have the girls kiss everywhere. You've kissed everywhere.
We've kissed everywhere,
Is
and
there-
luckily, there's been no qualms anytime we've done it.
Right.
Which has been amazing.
Well, the Macys Parade, people were kind of like,
was the
whoa,
first one.
that
Yep.
just happened.
Yep.
But do you like to rank them? The kisses was one of the TV kisses better, or was like one more fueled? Or I mean, the Macys one was pretty
The
exciting.
Macys one was really exciting. I think I can't rank one over the other, but the Macys and Tonys for me were both huge ones. Macys was huge on a global level.
Yes.
Tonys was huge on a personal level.
Yeah.
And
performance
also
was amazing.
we like went in on that kiss because we were like, this is the Tony Awards. They love
that
us
was
here.
a deeper.
So that was a
Tony's
deeper.
kiss might have been a
If
little
you
more,
compare them side by
little more.
side, the Macys one is a little more tender and
Right.
reserved.
Well,
and
that was the
Tony-
first one too. Yeah, it was kind of like
Yeah,
terrifying.
it was like, oh my gosh.
But I think you've also kissed on The View, Good Morning America.
Yes, The View and Good Morning America, and then
See,
yeah.
I'm a fan of the show. I don't know if you knew that.
Nailed it. Yeah, and and on The View we kissed at the end of You Happened, which doesn't happen in the show, but they wanted it anyway.
Yeah.
They came. Whoopi
People-
was like, "We
people
want you
want
to
the
kiss."
kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was great. So
Yeah.
people are supporting it and loving it, and I'm glad that love is spreading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we did a Fresh Face feature, that came out weird.
Yes, we
feature on you, I believe last fall,
Yes.
probably.
Yes.
And you talked about this essay you wrote about Beth Level.
I did.
Which you don't have you didn't bring a copy of it
No,
with you.
it's on
does
my.
it still exist?
It does. It's on my. Well, okay, so it's more of a paragraph than an essay. I had to
you
write
wrote this when you were
when I was in 7th grade, and we
you
had
loved
to
Drowsy Chaperone.
because I saw it 3 times and I was obsessed
You're
with
like,
it.
who's that drunk lady? I love
Who
her.
is? I was like, she's everything I want to be and more.
The character. Drowsy means drunk.
Right.
Right.
But there was just something, you know, Bob Martin's character in the show, Man in
Yes.
Chair, talks about how he puts his show on when he's ever feeling blue. You know,
Uh-huh.
this non-specific sadness, which I didn't kind of understood then, but it really just always knew how to warm me and picked me up. And I got a monkey souvenir. I had the souvenir playbill. I had this the soundtrack or the cast recording, I should say.
album.
I'm so sorry, the
You're
cast
on
album.
one. Once you're on one, you're supposed to know the difference.
Well, no, I mean my professor in college would you know reprimand me for saying soundtrack cast album. I had the
Yes.
cast album. So yeah, and As We Stumble Along was the song I listened to all the time. I mean, she's the funniest human I
Yeah.
think I've ever witnessed on stage. I mean,
Yeah.
and also the warmest human
Lovely.
backstage.
She's
So when I did the show in Atlanta, in 7th grade, I had written about how Beth Level was my idol and how I wanted to be her when I grew up, and that I met her at the stage door, and she was very kind. Yeah, and that was so. Then I got to do the show with her, and my mom found it and brought it to Atlanta with her for
Amazing.
our opening, and
Oh,
I got to
wow.
show it to her,
Oh, wow.
which was really crazy. So that was a fun one.
Yeah.
That's
you
a
were in the
full circle.
ensemble in Atlanta?
It was.
Yeah, and you got to step up.
Yeah.
You got to step. It was just like a Sutton Foster story.
A little bit, yeah.
Remember?
I'll
Sutton
take
Foster
that.
wasn't
Also in
supposed to be
Drowsy
Millie.
Chaperone.
Sutton wasn't Millie first. But yeah, you got to yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, she could do it.
Yeah, which I'm very grateful that they thought of me to do that.
So what do you want to? What else do you want to do? Let's talk about. I mean, you know, it's really easy for us to talk about the prom endlessly,
Yeah.
but there are other things that can be done.
This is true. This is true.
Other musicals.
I want you to do things.
I would love to do so many things. All of the things. I mean, in terms of like shows that are,
Yeah, like is there anything that you could see? Any like dream things or?
I really want to do Sally Bowles and Cabaret professionally.
Ooh, okay.
I would love to do that. I did it
Okay.
in college my senior year, and I would love to
That
jump.
went well.
It went well. I think now that I take myself a little less seriously. I can have more fun with her. So yeah, I'd love to step into her shoes.
Were you like Were you like totally in character all the time? Like were you like walking
yeah.
around as Sally Bowles?
Oh my god, I wouldn't
That's
talk to any.
exhausting.
It was exhausting. I mean, and I didn't get the joy of her so much. Like I
Okay.
was so
Right.
intent on what's underneath it, and
Right.
I didn't get that the whole point is that she is 7 layers of joy and bubbly. And I'm like, oh, I understand now. But
Yes.
so that would be fun to do.
Uh-huh.
And also green nails in a British accent is very fun.
Uh-huh.
So that's one dream role. I want to do Beatrice and Much Ado at some point when I'm older,
Oh, okay.
which would be fun.
Yeah, okay.
I love Crazy for You. I'd love to do Polly and Crazy for You.
Okay. You have some good specific
I have some
ones.
random ones. And then like, if Miss Congeniality ever became a musical, I want to be Gracie Lou Freebush.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So yeah, that maybe that'll happen. I just
Yeah.
met. Do you know who Leanne Locken is? Real Housewives. She's in it. She told me she's like I'm in Miss Congeniality. She's like one of the other contestants. So it's been like in the zeitgeist recently. So maybe there will be a musical of that.
Very cool.
So someone should just work on that.
That's awesome. Well, I'm putting it in the universe to be
Yeah.
a part of it in any way.
No. You know,
But,
they make
yeah.
musicals out of movies.
They do. They do
And
that.
people go and
nowadays.
sit down and they know what's going to happen.
And people come and buy tickets to it, which is nice.
Right. True.
Yeah, but there's also like I was thinking about this. I just read this really amazing book called The Power by Naomi Aberman. Oh my gosh, if that name is wrong, it may be
Okay.
wrong. Anyway, The Power.
I'm
And
sure you
it's
got
about-
Naomi right.
I
It's a
definitely
very
got Naomi
specific
right.
name.
Yeah, and it's a book about this latent electrical power that becomes alive in humans and females at the age of 15, and it becomes this power that they can transfer to women and women. So it's this dystopian society where everything is flipped, and now women are the superior gender, if you
Ooh.
will, and it's what happens if that happens. And basically, it's an examination of why gender equality is important and not to have one above the other. But if that ever turned into a movie or a musical, I would love to be a part of that in
That
any
might
way.
be the most specific answer anyone's ever given.
I know.
love that.
Well, because I had a feeling like that this question might come up, and I don't know why I thought of that because I recently read it and it really just kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
really
Are you
great.
saying
but-
questions on Live at 5 are a little predictable? We do ask about dream
No,
roles. We do ask about dream
I know
roles.
not that. Just Dreamrolls is a.
I could picture you
different thing.
playing Elphaba.
Thank you. I'm not as confident in that.
And you said green nails. Maybe that brought it up.
Oh yeah, that
Or
probably
maybe-
brought it up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I would need to work on that a bit. I feel like I have more of like a little brighter, lighter voice than
Yeah.
Elphaba does, but maybe who knows?
I don't know.
Who
I
knows?
just
Never
see
say
things.
never. Thank you.
Never say never.
Never say never. I'll take on anything.
So what happens after? Do you take like a break after you've been doing a show for this long, and then you get unexpected vacation time? Like what are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
I'm going to Croatia.
Ooh,
which will be
nice.
fun. Yeah. I have my mom's side of the family is very large. She's one of 8 siblings,
Okay,
and
so you're part Croatian.
not at all.
Oh.
I'm. I know it doesn't make any sense. Where I'm actually part Irish and Haitian. My dad was born in Haiti.
Okay.
And
You were, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't. My dad was.
Okay, okay.
And but my uncle Mark is kind of he arranges these ridiculous family reunions. So as long as we pay to get ourselves wherever we're going, he takes care of everything, which is amazing. Thank you, Uncle Mark.
Ooh, thank you.
Thanks.
And Aunt
Uncle Mark.
Kathy. Yeah, so we're going to Croatia this year, and it just so happened that it fell the week we closed.
Wow,
Which
okay.
is horrifying, but also in a
Right.
way it's good to just get my mind off of how sad I'll be.
That's where you go. You go to Croatia. When your show closes, you go to Croatia.
Apparently.
It's the hot new thing to do.
Yeah, book a ticket. all of the shows that are closing. Everybody come along.
Yeah, there's other
my
August
gosh.
close. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so weird, right?
it's so weird.
I know.
Yeah.
What are you gonna
This
do?
is sad.
It's show business.
Live. Yeah.
It's show business.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you think you've changed from this prom experience?
I think I have.
Big question.
It is a big question, and I think it's a question I kind of have avoided because I know I will get to that point very soon in terms of reflection. But I think I have grown a lot more confident in my abilities as an actor. I feel much more grounded. I feel more confident in reaching out and talking to people that I am not necessarily friends with, but I feel better at communicating in general and articulating myself. And Alyssa Greene is interesting for me in a way because I know my way in with her is I know the pressure that she feels from her mother and from
Right.
all these outside, in order to please everybody. I know the feeling of needing to please everybody always. So in a way, the show is a bit of regressing for me. So I need to balance it out with things in my life that make me feel confident. So I surround myself with really amazing friends, and I try to do things that make me feel like I'm in control of my own life, and I'm learning to say no to things,
Okay.
which is good,
Right.
which is very cool. So I feel like I'm becoming more of an adult from the show.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
I mean, I learned about what Broadway is, really. I mean, this is the longest run I've done on Broadway with the best humans on the face of the planet. I mean, like Angie Schwartz,
Yeah,
kind of,
she's
she
the
took me
best.
under her wing.
Yeah.
And not intentionally, but I always say that. And she just is always showing me the ropes and, full of love. And it was this show really showed me that it's not about you, it's about the piece itself. And that's the most important thing. It's like, how do we elevate the text and the story.
Yep.
And I felt that in the audition, in the rehearsal room
Mm-hmm.
and on stage every night. It's like the most collaborative, wonderful process. And it's so sad to let go, but I really hope to bring that to every single project
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The work that
Wow.
you have all done will not be forgotten.
Yeah.
It's true.
You know, even though Broadway is obviously sort of temporary, it lives, but
Yeah.
but it doesn't. I mean, you can remember everything about Beth Level's
Everything. I
Stumble
remember that
Along,
she would
yeah.
finish the song and she would bow and then she kept doing this with her hands so they kept applauding. I remember I'm such a Beth Level nerd. Oh gosh. And now we're in a scaring war. So that's fun.
Oh, okay.
I scare people at the theater. That's my thing.
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's actually a thing
Horrible.
on Broadway.
It is. Well, yeah, Ashley
Yeah.
Park did a big Broadway scares thing, so I've tried to incorporate
God.
that.
It's too
love
much.
it.
Hey, Caitlin, I know I'm hogging her.
We got a lot of
what are the people
questions.
online
Oh, okay.
saying?
We have a whole lot. I really like this one from Cammie. She asks, what moment in the course of your time on Broadway has allowed you to see the impact the prom has had on people the most?
Oh man. I don't think it's one specific moment. Actually, no. I would say if it is one specific moment, it would be the parade because it was how many people we reached and how many young teenagers reached out to us and the backlash that came along with that. But for every negative comment, there were like 50 more positive ones and affirming ones. And it's really from these kids that are saying, oh my gosh, this is what my family looks like. They have parents that are gay or, they are gay themselves. And it became a part of the conversation at the dinner table.
Yeah.
And people wrote to us about the conversations they had at the dinner table. So it feels like we're really affecting change, and that is really cool. So that was probably like the biggest aha moment. In that way.
Also, shout out to Macys who wanted the kiss.
Yeah, thank you, Macys.
there.
You're amazing.
I mean,
And stood by it when there was, afterwards too.
Yeah,
It's great.
Totally.
Love that. This is a fun question from Brandon. He wants to know that if Jasmine and Alyssa went to dinner together, where would they go?
So Jasmine, Jasmine is a character in Aladdin, Princess Jasmine. You played her.
I did.
Yes.
I did. If Jasmine and Alyssa would go, oh man, they're very, very different people. I think Alyssa would be very intimidated by Jasmine. So Jasmine would probably call the shots, but want to know more about Alyssa. She'd want to know what her life is like growing up in Indiana and she's gay, and she'd be like, what is that like? Tell me all about it. How do I help people like that in my community, I think. So I think they'd have good conversation at probably some lovely I don't know. Okay, they'll have a candlelit dinner on a rooftop. I don't know why it's romantic. It's candlelit. Raja's there.
Sure.
Okay, great.
Raja and Mrs. Greene is like trying to get in, but nobody will let her in. We're gonna make up this restaurant. It's gonna be cool, and it's somewhere in it's in Croatia.
Croatia.
There you go.
On a rooftop in Croatia.
I don't know how my mind works
I love
sometimes.
that.
Yeah.
And Courtney
A new
Collins is
musical.
banging down the door.
She's like,
trying to get in.
Alyssa, I want you to meet your princess friend.
There's a big tiger out
There's a
here.
big tiger. Yeah, she's there, so Raj is guarding Mrs. Greene. Yeah, I hope that answers
Is this
your
a new
question,
musical?
Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some, skit. There's a bit in there
There's a bit.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, we could do one more question. And Isabel wants to know, what other musical would you love to star in with Caitlin?
Izzy wants to know. Izzy.
It's another
It's
Isabel.
another Isabel. Hi, Isabel. We've talked about this, and I can't remember what the answer was. I think, I remember. We joked about doing Next to Normal with me as Diana and her as the guy. I'm so bad at as
Dan?
Dan,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's a nice twist.
Or was it a switch? I think, or we're going to alternate every night.
Sure.
Oh, I love
Plays
that.
what
Flip a coin?
Yes, we'll flip a coin, see who plays what role. That'd be fun.
Yeah, sure.
Or like The Odd Couple, but the female version.
Oh, well, that needs to come back. Sure.
That could be fun. I
Yeah,
don't know. I
sure.
made that one up on the spot.
On the spot. So
Love
good at
it.
improv. Are those character nails or are those your nails?
There are, okay, so I am allowed to live in the realm of purples.
They're purple. They're very pretty.
Thank you. They're a little brighter than I normally get, but, considering the circumstances.
Oh, so for the last few weeks. You never know what's going to happen with Alyssa's
Yeah.
nails. Got it.
She's getting crazy, guys. Right, she'll hopefully still come out of the closet at the end, but
Just don't shave your head or anything.
no.
Well, I hope that you have a fantastic final 5 weeks.
Thanks.
You will be seeing me there and others from Broadway.com
Broadway
back at the
Prom.
Longacre Theater.
Broadway.prom. I love it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's Broadway.prom.
Yeah.
And everyone, really, go see the prom.
Yeah.
Like, really? You haven't seen it? I mean, I can't imagine anyone watching this has not seen the prom. But if you're out there and you haven't, go see the prom. You will not regret it. So the closing is August
11th.
11th. And then Croatia.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks
So
for
good to
having
see
me.
you. Hey, Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single weekday here on Facebook. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts by searching for hashtag live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We talk to Jake Boyd of Wicked.